Oh, vintage. Anyway, is very right. When the people have no rights or power to actually choose their own leaders, a situation whereby the rigged system continues to shun out criminals whose selfish and personal interests supersedes the interests of the people. You know, people who have no empathy, no sympathy, no nothing, like almost like they do not have any human sort of like a feelings at all. They ended up in power, treat people terribly, and also leave them in the hands of the same terrorists who have established an industry in Nigeria live. Social whatever is right. The people of Otobi-Akpa in Benue, in Benue State, I believe. You remember them? They have been under the constant attacks from the Fulani terrorists, and we have been reading about that in the news. And every now and then that they appeared in the news, brethren, there are bodies, right, to be buried. The last time, which was last week, when the attacks that they raised an alarm online, the attack still happened. But for those who are able to kind of like leave the community earlier, they are mostly those who live to tell the story, but not these 7 who later got buried just yesterday. Otobi-Akpa.
It's a Black Sunday. Today, the 27th of April, 2025, we are at Otobi, the headquarters of the Akpa Nation, where we have the terrorist attack by Fulani herdsmen on the 15th of April 2025. Today, the community is burying 8 of the 11 victims of the terror attack. 8 here because 3 are from different other communities. 1 from Otuko, 1 from our Chief Brothers, and 1 a teacher at the Federal Government College Otobi from Nasarawa State. So these are the 8 bodies that will lie in state today for mass burial at Otobi. Mass burial at Otobi-Akpa, a Black Sunday. Victims of the April 15th terrorist attack at Otobi.
Everybody, please. Enough of the camera. Please, enough of the video. So you will get all.
Children have been made orphans. Women have been made widows. And men, of course, have been made widowers. In a space where their supposed leaders are busy planning about the next election. You know, they say leaders think about the next generation, while politicians think about the next election. So the whole country can tank. You know, they still have to continue until when people actually come for them. Until then, right? In Yoruba land, I think this was in Ibadan, right? A similar story that is so similar to what happened in Uromi when those hunters were caught and mobbed in Uromi. Similar thing would have happened in Ibadan. Of course, some intervention, right? They didn't let them mob them, but they actually said they escaped. These are supposed travelers that the people believed they are not just travelers. They are actually they are moving weapons, they are moving terrorists across the country, all those Dangote trailers. So this happened.
Yeah. The Boko Haram are now in Oyo. Some of them were caught. Look at their machines. And their guns were hidden under this truck. They escaped, but they've been caught, according to the report, between Express towards Ilora. So we have to be security conscious now. In fact, these days, all the trucks that pass through Express have to be thoroughly checked. They use it as hideouts, where most of their guns and other ammunitions were being hid. Look at this one too. God knows what is hidden under this now. So we have to be security conscious. This no be Wasao. I saw it with my eyes today. Just like James Bond film, when Abachaku engaged them with guns before they were caught. They were scattered because some of them escaped with their guns. So if it's AK-7, what's the name? So please, we should be security of ourselves. All these people that push Bola have to be cautioned, they have to be challenged. Gbogbo àwọn mọ́là tó máa ń tirin nínú estate yẹn, they are only there to survey this expressway between Olaroya and Mobi Express in Oyo. Yes. Before they were caught, look at their machine. They left with the cow. These trucks were forced to stop. Look at the tire. Was punctured by guns. Saoni. Hey. Irú ilé ó lè káwọn àmọ̀tẹ́kùn ní àtòrí kó kàrà kàbọ̀ wọn kí wọ́n fi wọ́n lẹ̀. Kòbókò kékeré kí wọ́n kàrà kàbọ̀ wọn kí wọ́n fi wọ́n lẹ̀.
Yeah. Be security conscious. Be security conscious. Oyo is not.
That was somewhere around the Laura in Oyo State. So the reporter who acted as an eyewitness reported the engagement between the Amotekun and the supposed Boko Haram who absconded while the truck transporting them and their bikes and their guns got demobilized. You saw that too, right? The tire got shot and demobilized and all that. So generally, a lot of people are saying that people should defend themselves, right? But we all know that you can't defend yourself with sticks and stones, not where the system is deliberately rigged against you. The Fulani terrorists that have been caught in the past have been let go by the police, by the military too. So even the ones caught by communities have also been let go by the establishments. In other, in other cases, right? Most of the communities who did bonded together to go after these terrorists have been chastised. They have been bullied and seriously warned not to go after these terrorists. And those who behind the scene made efforts, some of them are languishing in different detention right now in Nigeria that nobody, I mean, there's going to be a time where, we're going to have the collection of those who have been locked up on trumped up charges by the Nigerian army simply because they attempted to defend their own communities. We have those people. We just don't know how we can get all their voices out. People who stood for their communities before and after attacks by the Fulani terrorists. So the likes of DG and others are now asking the National Assembly of Nigeria to amend your constitution, change the law, allow people to arm themselves with automatic rifles, so that whenever these terrorists are aware that the people have armed themselves, when they are aware, even if they had any deal, if they have any deal with the rogues in government and the rest, even if they have infiltrated the entire government, knowing that people they have automatic weapons to defend themselves, can be a bit of a warning ahead that they don't rush into any community if they were not going to live in body bags or in acids. The GNCO, by the way, they called a press conference.
I align myself with my brother Deji's submission. If the state cannot protect Nigerians, the National Assembly with a voice vote should amend the constitution to allow Nigerians bear arms. After all, it was a voice vote they used to declare a state of emergency in Rivers. Let them assemble. They don't even need the quorum anymore. 10 of them, just like they did in the Rivers situation, can assemble with a voice vote and then amend the constitution so Nigeria can bear arms and protect themselves. But these killings cannot continue like this. It must stop.
Security in Nigeria is because out of the about 350 policemen that we have in the country, almost 200,000 are following big men, Yahoo girls, Yahoo boys, and all kinds of people they call VIP all over the country. That's the reason why we have insecurity. Yes, vagabonds who have access to cash. Anybody that have access to cash can hire police. Go to a nightclub in Lagos or in Abuja, you see young boys with 6, 7, 8 mopole going up and down. All the celebrities in Nigeria have mopole attached to them. All the governors have mopole attached to them. The deputy governor, their wives, their girlfriend, their concubines, all have mopole attached to them. Side chicks all have mopole. So this is the reason why we're having insecurity in the country. So let's stop beating around the bush as if we don't know why they are killing people in Benue, in Plateau, in Kwara, in Gombe. Because there was an incident in Gombe as well. It's because there has been a collapse of policing in the country. The police are now busy looking for money. The other 150,000 that should be policing internal security, they are collecting bribe on the road. So nobody is really policing in the country. Nobody is policing. That's why we have insecurity in the country. The police have abandoned their constitutional responsibility of policing, and all they're interested in is revenue generation to maintain the divisional police heads. Because the money meant for the divisional police heads are stolen by some people. So the DPO now has to find a way to fuel the car for patrol. So they need to find a way to fund the police stations. If we address corruption, insecurity will stop. Yes, we concede that the VIPs need some form of protection. So it will be unreasonable on our part to say, oh, don't protect the VIPs. Even in America, the VIPs are protected. I'm making 2 recommendations. Number 1, let us use the elite corps of the civil defense to protect the VIP. The elite corps of the civil defense to protect them. The police must go back to policing the nation. That is the only way that we can stop this growth of terrorist groups all over the country. Number 2, if we have reached a consensus that security agencies have failed, let us allow people to carry guns. Let us give license for citizens to carry guns. Like in America, if we all own guns, who will come to a community in Plateau to terrorize anybody? Who will come to a community in Benue to terrorize anybody, or in Plateau, or in Kwara? So the basics, if the police and the government are not ready to remove police officers from the VIPs and allow police officers to go and police the nation, then we should reach a consensus that, oh, we have failed as a nation. Therefore, let us allow license for citizens to own guns. Thank you. This is my take. And A.K. Musa will now give.
And we hear you loud and clear. Unfortunately, the person that is the head of the National Assembly, his name is Godlos Akpabiole. Now, Mr. Godlos Akpabiole, right, was, I don't know if he's still there, by the way. He was at the Vatican just a few days ago, I think 2-3 days ago. Yeah, for the burial rites of Pope Francis. And a lot have been said about the Pope, the late Pope. His modesty, his humanity, his love, his this, his that. Pope Francis, as the head of the Catholic, right, means that before his death, when he was alive, he was the head of over 1.5 billion congregation of Catholics all over the world. And we are talking about hundreds of billions of dollars worth of assets under him. And then, you know, despite all of this, everyone that came across him or came in contact with him said he was so modest that they have to publish the room, right? His room, the modesty, his lifestyle, his this, his that, Abi. So that simply means that the likes of Akpabiole and co should be learning from Pope. I say, man, despite all this power, this wealth, this influence and all of that, and this Alaye no even like, because he believes that, you know, when you die, you will go with nothing. That's what they should all learn from him. But when Akpabiole returned, or when Akpabiole was asked what was his message for Nigerians, Akpabiole said, Nigerians should not see poverty as a crime. Look at the Pope. I don't know any correlation. No, I can't see any correlation from what he said. Though. So maybe now my ears they pay me. You listen.
To Nigerians.
Well, if you it's not just a great event to the world, but I think it was an event that shook the world. When you look at the Catholic Church is not just a church. The Vatican is also regarded as a state. So you have the head of state that died and was buried today. You also have the pontiff that headed this flock all over the world, well over 1.5 billion in number. And you have a man who died as a man today, the Pope, who was worth only $100. Showing that, yes, we cannot worship God in splendor, and that the best way to worship God is to worship God through self-sacrifice for others. So the message is very clear that Nigerians should love one another, and that poverty is not a crime, and that poverty could sometimes be a virtue of God, and that whatever you have, you should be able to share with your brothers and sisters. And above all, in this period of that Easter just ended, we coincided with the Salah. You know, it's all about God. That yes, indeed, that love should transcend everything, because God so loved the world that He sent.
So how about let's start with this. Akpabiole stole 117 billion naira when he was governor of Akwa Ibom State. So then he got arrested, like Okowa. Then Akpabiole, who I don't know if he's a Catholic, but I know he's a Christian.